What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the inside scoop, exclusive updates, and everything you need to know about your Dallas Cowboys. Before we dive into today's story, which involves Dak Prescott and a very big name you've heard a lot about lately, let me just say this. The team is locked in right now. They're working harder than ever to perfect every detail, from the quarterback room to the wide receivers to the new-look defense. Everything is about one thing. Results, wins in December, wins in January, and the kind of season Cowboys fans deserve. So if you appreciate the grind and you're excited about what's coming, smash that like button and support the channel. It helps us keep bringing you all the latest and straight from the star to your screen. Alright, now let's talk about George Pickens. Let's start with the move that caught almost everyone off guard. The 2025 NFL Draft came and went, and fans were scratching their heads. No wide receiver. In a year where adding more weapons for Dak seemed like a must. But Jerry Jones had something else cooking. And in early May, the Cowboys pulled the trigger on a blockbuster trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers to bring in George Pickens, one of the league's most talented yet polarizing young wideouts. This wasn't a small swing. This was a calculated risk, and one that could pay off in a big way. Now, for a move this bold to work, the most important voice in the locker room, QB1 Dak Prescott, had to be all in. And if you've heard his comments this week, you know he is 100% bought in. Huge? Huge? Yeah, very huge, Dak said when asked about the Pickens addition. Looking at the guy's tape, you see what he does, the kind of receiver he is. He's going to win one-on-ones. He can win two-on-ones, if he has to. Very, very talented guy. That's not just a quarterback checking a box. That's a quarterback who's watched the film, seen the route running, the contested catches, the raw fire that Pickens brings to the field. And he likes what he sees. When Dak says he's super excited, he means it. He sees the potential. For this duo, Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, to completely reshape what this passing offense can be. So what makes George Pickens such a game changer? Let's talk numbers first. In 48 regular season games with the Steelers, Pickens racked up 174 receptions, 2,141 yards, 12 touchdowns, and here's the kicker. He's only 24 years old. At 6'3", 200 pounds, with ridiculous catch radius and burst off the line, Pickens has all the tools to be a WR1 on almost any roster in the league, but he won't be the WR1 in Dallas. That title still belongs to CeeDee Lamb, who's coming off an all-pro season. And that's exactly where things get really interesting, because Pickens is entering the final year of his rookie contract. He's playing for a major payday, and he's playing in an offense where he's not the alpha. Yet. So how does that dynamic play out? Let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Pickens has a reputation. People around the league have called him emotional. Some say he's difficult. Others just say he's passionate, and that he wants the ball. Badly. He's already thrown some subtle shade at the Steelers since arriving in Dallas. Whether that's just frustration or fuel, we'll see. But here's what matters. Can the Estafee Cowboys manage the personalities in the WR room? Because yes, Pickens wants a big role. He wants targets. He wants to show he's more than just a deep threat. And if the ball isn't coming his way, how will he react? That's where Dak's leadership becomes critical. He'll be expected to keep everyone engaged, fed, and focused on the goal. You've got two elite-level receivers. Keeping both happy won't be easy, but if anyone can do it, it's the guy who's quietly become one of the most respected locker room leaders in the league. Let's not forget the third piece of this puzzle. New full-time offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. He's been around the team, sure, but now this is his offense, and he's got weapons. The idea of CeeDee Lamb drawing double teams while Pickens operates on the backside is a nightmare for opposing defenses. And if you throw in the right mix of Tony Pollard replacements in the backfield and Jake Ferguson over the middle, this could be one of the most dynamic Cowboys offenses in recent memory. Pickens allows Schottenheimer to stretch the field, punish corners on deep balls, and force safeties into tough decisions. That's exactly what this team lacked when the offense stalled late last year. Make no mistake, Cowboys fans, this is a high-risk, high-reward move. There are two versions of how this could play out. Scenario 1, Pickens fits in. He clicks. With Dak, he makes defenses pay for focusing on Lamb, and the offense explodes into one of the best in the league. Scenario 2. The chemistry doesn't come together. Pickens gets frustrated, the targets aren't there, and the team has to navigate distractions in the middle of a playoff race. The Cowboys cannot afford to let it be the second scenario. Not this year. Not after last season's embarrassing playoff exit. Not with Mike McCarthy on the hot seat. Not with Dak in the final year of his deal and no long-term extension in place. Everything rides on getting it right. And George Pickens might just be the swing that determines whether the Cowboys break through or break down, but here's the optimistic view, and it's one shared by a lot of people in the building. He has the physical traits, the chip on his shoulder, and now, for the first time in his NFL career, he's in an environment where the offense runs through the quarterback, not around it. He's got Dak, he's got Lamb, he's got the spotlight. And if he takes advantage of it, if he rises to the moment, the Cowboys could go from a playoff team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. It's all about how this offense gels, and trust me, every practice, every press conference, every game snap, people will be watching this connection develop. Here we are again, Cowboys fans, May 2025, and déjà vu is setting in. Just like last offseason, we're left wondering how exactly the running back room is going to take shape. And let me tell you, it's already heating up. The name in question today, Javonte Williams. Yep, the former Denver Broncos back who was once thought to be one of the most promising young runners in the league is now fighting for his spot in Dallas. The journey to big deal, let's rewind a little. The Denver Broncos drafted Javonte Williams in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft. His rookie year, solid, flashy moments, power balance and contact balance that had fans buzzing. But then 2022 happened. A brutal knee injury sidelined him. And over the next 2 seasons, Javonte never quite looked the same. His explosiveness dipped, and his yards per carry tumbled to under 4. For a power runner trying to be a feature back in today's NFL, that's a red flag. Fast forward to this offseason, and Williams signed a 1-year, $3 million prove-it deal with the Dallas Cowboys. But barely 2 months later, people are already whispering about a possible cut. You heard that right. Some media voices are already speculating that Javonte could be released before training camp even ends. Let me just say this. Can we let June arrive first before we send guys packing? The numbers game now. To be fair, there's logic behind the conversation. If the Cowboys were to cut Javonte Williams, they'd save $2 million in cap space. That's not nothing, especially when you're trying to lock in guys like CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons long term. But here's where it gets tricky. This running back room is thin. Let's look at the competition. You've got Miles Sanders. Remember that Pro Bowl season with Philly in 2022, he ran for 1,269 yards and 11 touchdowns behind arguably the best offensive line in the NFL. But since then, he's been a shell of that player. 2 years in Carolina produced just 637 total rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Yikes, Deuce Vaughn, a spark plug no doubt. Great college film, but he's undersized and unproven in terms of being a full-time NFL back. Jaden Blue and Phil Mafah, 2 rookies with upside, but they're still learning how to be pros. Camp bodies for now, maybe more later. That means Javonte Williams still has a real shot to be the Week 1 starter, and quite possibly the lead back when the Cowboys open the season on Thursday Night Football against the defending Super Bowl champion Eagles. Yes, I said it. Despite the whispers, Javonte Williams might just be RB1 and why the backfield needs. Everybody, let's be honest here, Cowboys fans, this is not the 2016 backfield anymore. There's no Ezekiel Elliott in his prime. There's no Tony Pollard flashing for 1,000-yard seasons. What we have is a group of rotational guys all fighting for reps, touches, and relevance. And in a 17-game season with playoff aspirations, depth is everything. So the idea of cutting Javonte Williams before we've even seen him in pads, let alone live action, it feels premature. Yes, 3.7 yards per carry last year wasn't ideal. But you know what else wasn't ideal? Denver's offensive line. Let's not forget, sometimes production is about situation. In the right scheme behind a better line, Javonte could easily bounce back. Meanwhile, in the WR room, CD, is feeling good. Now let's shift gears for a moment, because it's not just the running back room where battles are unfolding. There's positive energy coming out of the wide receiver room as well, and it starts with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee's coming off a tough 2024 campaign where he played through a shoulder injury he originally suffered in Week 9 against Atlanta. He aggravated it multiple times down the stretch, but kept grinding through it. Now, he says he's finally healthy. "I'm grateful to have two arms. I can tell you that," CeeDee joked recently. And that's not all. Lamb is thrilled about his new receiving partner, George Pickens. George Pickens, fresh start, big energy. We covered this earlier this month, but it bears repeating. The Cowboys traded for George Pickens after Pittsburgh decided to move on. Pickens brings size, explosiveness, and a physical edge to the offense. And he's already making a big impression, not just with fans, but with teammates and coaches. CeeDee put it plainly. Everything. His demeanor. Everything he brings to the table. Deep threat ability, able to block, and just the energy he brings to the game. We complement each other very well. That's the kind of synergy you want between your top two wideouts, and offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is loving what he's seen so far from Pickens. He's obviously a tremendous athlete, but I love watching him in meetings. So dialed in, taking great notes. Pickens, for his part, feels rejuvenated. It's super refreshing. New city, new state. It feels good right now just getting around the guys. So, Cowboys Nation, I've got to ask you, are you buying the George Pickens hype? Do you think he'll be a perfect fit next to CeeDee Lamb? Or are you worried the pressure and the personality might be too much? And do you believe Dak can keep everyone happy while still playing his best ball? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. Let's talk about it. And of course, if you're enjoying these deep dives, these exclusive looks at what's happening behind the scenes, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a Cowboys update. Big season ahead. Big names, big expectations, and it just might start with a big year from George Pickens. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.